Hello, it's Kay. Welcome back to the 15th episode of my life journey. I'm very excited to share the new insights and adjustments that my life coach has introduced to my path. Lately, I've begun to truly understand the orders and the lessons that SAR has introduced to this new path from the very beginning. One of the most profound concepts I've been grasping these days is the idea of being a slave to myself. Initially, it sounded all unpleasant, bitter, and, odd, that made me uncomfortable at the very beginning. But I'm realizing that my cluttered and my chaotic mind was not capable of making sound decisions. And accepting such a thing was crucial at the beginning. So now I'm all positive about this idea, and it it's starting to become pleasant to me, for someone who wants to transform their life. By submitting to his guidance without any doubt or suspicion, I was giving actually myself a chance to heal and quiet my mind. Through this process, I'm gradually learning to discern and distinguish right from wrong, to be able to make right decisions independently. This isn't about losing freedom, it's about gaining control over myself. Saul reminded me that he couldn't make decisions for me forever and, guide me for the rest of my life. But instead, he's trying to help me develop the characteristics, the wisdom, and the confidence I need to be on my own, you know, stay on my own at a certain point after some time. Building on the analogy from last week, Sar took that a step further. Imagine yourself as someone in a house full of people. Some of them are laughing, loudly speaking. Some of them are playing games and, shouting and jumping, doing all the chaotic things that you can imagine. Imagine the, most chaotic scenario. And each of them comes to you every few seconds and tells you something and takes your attention for some moments and leaves. Suddenly, amidst all this chaos, one of them comes and asks a very serious question from you. With all that noise around you, it's almost impossible to, you know, think clearly and respond wisely. Imagine some of these people get aware of that question and they start to tell you what to do. Some voices may encourage you and say, yeah, go for it, do it, why not? Of course, take that offer immediately. And imagine that offer might have, short term benefits for you, but it could have long term consequences. Does that make sense? Could you imagine some real case scenarios in your life where you took some offers from people around you or even your thoughts that seemed so sweet, so, pleasurable, good in short term with long term consequences? Without clarity and silence in our minds, we might accept that offer only to realize later that it was a huge mistake. This analogy actually highlights the importance of a calm and still mind. This is all about creating a mental space where we can evaluate all of our decisions with wisdom and, calmness. It happened for a lot of times for myself that I had something to do, I was in the middle of a task, and suddenly something came to my mind, or someone calls you and tells you, oh, let's do this, let's do that for fun, or something in that shape or form. You know, when you're tired of something, when you're in the middle of something, you suddenly totally get distracted and, you know, stop it for some time, or even stop it completely. And after some days, some weeks, or even months, you realize that, yeah, the moment you gave it up, it was the moment you screwed everything, and you everything went all wrong. I asked Sar why some people succeed in transforming their lives, or starting something new, and continuing strongly. Why is it that some people do not back down while others fail to continue something, or they give up at the very beginning, or even some of them don't start it at all when they come up with some new serious ideas or serious decisions? His response was very profound and uh, you know really hit me hard. I want to read it for you. It comes down to alignment, a rare and very powerful state where both your emotions and logic agree on what you truly want. Some people may have the emotional drive but lack logical conviction, while others logically understand what they need but lack the passion to pursue it. Only when both align can real transformation happen. This alignment is crucial for making significant changes and staying committed to the path without giving up or giving in. This was very catching, and it was like a bullet right after when I heard it. Did that make sense for you? Did that remind you of some examples of such things? So many times it happened for me that I felt that I emotionally want something, and you know all the cells in my body tell me to do one thing and go one way, but logically I didn't have that much proof or that much you know backbone for it. I didn't have a very clear path. I didn't know how to break it down in smaller steps so that I can start it and keep it going and feel some progress along the way that keeps me motivated. And on the other side, so many times I had a very clear roadmap of what I want to do, and you know maybe starting something new that it's obvious that has some long-term benefits, but I didn't have enough emotional conviction. It was like uh, I really don't want it inside. I'm not ready for it. That's not something that makes me excited, let's say. But when these two things coincide and come together at a point based on SAR, that is a very critical point that transformation can happen. So one can work on both sides in order to, you know, arrive at a state that they can make sure what they want to start is solid, and they can continue uh, doing it for a long time and reached some results. Sar also introduced me to the concept of inner child in psychology. He linked my chaotic and noisy mind to a mischievous and unruly child, one that I've nurtured and brought up through my thoughts and habits and my beliefs over the years, over my entire life so far. This inner child doesn't listen to rules, creates drama, and I can say thrives in chaos. Do you feel what I mean? Does it make sense? Sar also pointed out that some people carry the traits of this unruly child their entire lives, never realizing its impact on their decisions and their personality overall. This is what explains why some people can have awkward traits even when they are very old, up to an old age. It doesn't matter if they're 50, 60, or 70, you know, while others, some young individuals may seem remarkably wise and mature. My journey now is about acknowledging this inner child, understanding it, and reshaping it into a disciplined, mature version of myself. Based on SAR, it's my duty to train this child, not only in how to think about different aspects of life, but also at times in how to not to think at all. That is actually just as crucial as teaching it how to think. Do you feel what I mean? Like not giving weight to different things sometimes, not, ignoring some things. That also matter as much as, things that need a lot of care. Your inner child or your inner voice may always come up with ideas and reasons that you're doing something wrong and you're just, depriving yourself from instant pleasure. And that all these lessons that you're implementing don't matter at all. It can even sometimes suggest you to revert back to your old self, you know, and become average like everyone else. You feel what I mean? Sometimes that voice comes and says, why are you doing this all? Where will it end up to? Like, what is the end? These things are not gonna make anything happen. Do you feel what I mean? It's I understood it. I understood that it's my duty to silence this inner voice and not giving it a chance to speak up whenever it's necessary. Sar emphasized that it's my duty to teach this child how to function. Otherwise, if I just let it be on its own, I think the result is very clear, straight way, straight path to nowhere. Simply because it's just a child, it thrives in chaos and destruction. You might have wondered why children of successful people usually, though not always, become successful themselves and, become purposeful in their life. It's because they inherit the right characteristics from a very young age. Their parents ensure they take it hard enough on them so that their inner child gets mature very fast, in different aspects of life. Although this isn't always the case, and some parents fail to pass the right traits on, even if they are, successful themselves, we commonly see that people who are on top, they were raised by very good or successful parents who modeled the right behaviors and mindsets from the very beginning. So, what I've learned from this all is whenever that inner voice or child throws some negative thoughts in my mind, it's my duty to tell it to be quiet. And by learning and applying this, my life coach hopes that I can first nurture my own inner child. And as he said, in the future, it's going to be way easier to nurture my children if I have any, as I've already nurtured myself first. This journey is teaching me to tame that inner child, that inner voice or chaos. Do you feel what I mean? To build a stronger, more disciplined, and more mature character. It's not easy, but each step reinforces my belief in Source guidance. I'm not yet the person with an obedient inner child, of course, but I can see the changes. I can see positive changes unfolding week by week. So I'll keep pushing forward, knowing the real value in these minor key lessons. I'll share and keep you updated on our coming conversations, and thank you for listening. Till next time, forward.